apply on our paper. Even I can use this one too, but it depends which color you like. You don't have to make it pinky, even if you don't have any pink. So it's runny. It's good for first layer. And very accurate. I try to focus on the shape of my flower. This is the big one I want to have here. So start the whole shape. Try to follow a little bit shape of petals. Even it's better to be more watery, loose and light. This is the first wash. And any part you can leave it as a white of the paper. Very gently, please shape your petals and keep the paper white in somewhere randomly like that. The darkness and the shadow will come on top. The first wash always better to be really light and watery. So please go like that. Shape the whole roses. Just one rose here, and then the rest we will do it one by one. And keep some part as a white of the paper. And come to the center, make it look like that. And start with the bigger brush. So start to paint one C curve like that. And then another shape I try to follow like this. Bring it, another shape here. This is look like a shape of flower. Just very gently, I try to make drawing by my brush and paint. We can leave some part as a white of paper. For example, I leave this part as a white of paper. But for first wash, I try my best to be so lighter than the result at the end. Now, the third flower is same as the first one. If I bring it here, it look like this one. It's so the same shape of the others, but a little bit smaller. And it's light and dark pink, reddish color. So I'm going to make some red color first and make it a little bit orangey to have lighter tone. I keep the pink aside because maybe I need to add some small flower on top here. So I have red color. Bring it to the center. Make it runny. And the color I need a little move toward orangey. If you have yellow, you can add some yellow into that. If not, you can add some orange. Or maybe yellow is better to add to make it lighter. So for the first wash, I try to make it light and just drawing the petals. Start from here, comes down. It's watery, so it takes time to get dry. It's easier to finish first. And the petal come inside the other flower, so I come a little inside that. Then move down, make it bigger. Try to follow like a curvy and circly shape. And then bring one petal a little bit out. So this is whole shape of petals. And then come a little bit inside. Keep some white as a paper. Be visible in between each petals, which is so lovely. And then try to close it to the center like that. So I keep some empty space in between as a white of the paper. So it looks like flowers, the rose. Use this color first, control it by napkin because the water is a lot. I don't need a lots of water. Just control by napkin because this is smaller. And keep some empty space in between for the leaves and try to draw the shape of bubble like this on the right side. And then I move on like here inside in between a little bit empty space as the white of the paper, then move down and then come like that. This is the whole shape of flower. And then I'm keep for the dark color here, then start from this part, follow, bring it out a little bit, and then from this part, the shape of petals like that. So first this bubble shape, and then keep some empty space as the white of the paper and add some details around on top. It's dry. We can move on for the second wash and make it a little darker, add more details on top, or we can move on to the leaves. I prefer to start another color and start bring some leaves around, make it more interesting, and then we can back and finish our flowers. So for the leaves, if we see it's so busy, and at the beginning it's a little confusing, but we start from one of the part, finish that one color one by one. When we add this bunch of leaves around, we can make it easier and we can make it interesting. So I started this lighter color that I see around. It's some of them is a little bluey tone, some of them more greeny. So for the bluey tone, even we can move on with a smaller brush. It depends. If you're comfortable with the same size of brush that you work with the flowers, it's okay to go with that. If not, you can move on with the smaller one. So I think, yeah, I'm going with the smaller one as well. So, and it depends what kind of green you have. We can go with sap green, hooker green, or any green that we have. I'm going to use sap green. Bring it here. When we add more water inside, it can be more light and runny, but the filling is more greeny, this color. I would like to add here, this part. So start adding this green, a little bit brown I would like to add, and the brown I'm going to use is a reddish brown, burnt sienna. So have a napkin to reduce the amount of water, and then start from here. The smaller brush, the tip is pointy, so it's easy to draw the line as a stem. So take your brush like that, straight to the paper, draw the line. You can have more control with a smaller brush, and then when you straight, take your brush into the paper, easily you can draw the line. Like this. And I use less pressure on my hand, control it by this small finger on the paper. Try to use less pressure and draw the narrow and gently the line. green, I use dark brown, and I use dark blue to mix together with very less water in my brush and make my green darker. I'm not using black into the green because in watercolor, black can make it a little bit dark and like a dirty color. Even we don't use any white color, it can make the color muddy. We use black as like a Payne's gray, but like a pure color, not mixed with the other. So this is dark green, and it's colorful dark green color with very less water inside, more pigment, and finish this side. So I'm going to use one curve. It's okay to come even on top of the other color of leaf, and then start to make it fat and then fill it inside. And then for the other leaves, I try to use different shape for the leaves. And I try to use, for example, long C curve here. Play like that, come out, and then move inside like that. So different shape, it's interesting. One C curve from one side. Start, place your brush, tip of the brush to shape your leaf like this shape. And for the other, I try to use different shape for my leaf. One C curve. First of all, try to draw one side as a C curve, and then play the tip of brush with the tip of brush with the tip of leaf, and then like that, shape it like that, and then fill inside. This is another shape of leaf. In nature, we have lots of different shape, or even the wind can change the shape of the leaves. So and then the other is start from here, bring it long, make it pointy. To the other side, connect them together. So for more leaves that I would like to add, I can add one here, two more on top of this one, and some here to have a balance everywhere with this dark color. So for this leaf, I try to bring it on top of the flowers. It comes here like a C curve, and I try to fill inside, but not go inside the petals. Just draw first, and then with whole brush stroke, try to cover it. This is another one in between the flowers. And then I would like to bring one stem here to connect two leaves on this side. I try not to pay attention to the other leaves. I come on top of them with the big shape and the dark color. Even for the other one, just a C curve, try to come on top and connect here. So still I need something to add. We can go with the flowers under this, or we can go with the leaves. I would like to go with the stem and leaves here to connect these two flowers together. So one stem I add on this one, and I try to add shape of leaves like this, because there is a lots of dark color here. Is interesting to have even one nice C curve here to add another leaf on top of the other flowers. And then after we add some shadow and darkness on the flowers, then we can see, okay, we need to add another flower on here on this section, or we can leave it. Even I feel here is empty. We need one more leaf of this light color to add. So again, back to that lighter green that we had at the beginning, but it depends. Sometimes your painting is okay, you don't have any empty space, so you can leave it. I don't want to have empty space here, so I try to add one more leaf on this part too. So I just forgot to add the stem for this pinky tone. So move on to connect them together with the stem. Tiny bit connection here we need for each flower and the stem, and then with one line connect them together because of the paint. But I want to have darker tone for the pinky color. And for that, I prefer to mix rose color with red color. That's a nice and dark color with very limited water. Even control it by napkin to absorb the water inside the brush, and then start adding with the tip of brush, small brush stroke to the center of rose and make each petal the shape of rose like that, empty space in between, and just like a nice curvy that cover each other, we can make it. Smaller on center. When we come further, it's get bigger. Even more fat. And for this specific one, I'm not using anymore this pinky color for make the petals bigger. I can go with a little purpley tone for those. So I have pink color, put this here. This time I'm not mixing with the red. If you have purple, you can use purple. If you don't have, just touch of blue. Make rose color a little feeling purpley. Like that. Control the amount of water to make it not much dark, very lighter, and just with a bigger brush, one C curve to separate this part as a petal. Randomly come like that. This is one petal, and then for the other side, just with C-curve shape, we try to make the rose petals connect together. One or two. So one stroke here, one stroke here, and one here. Try to help this get darker a little bit. And I'm not adding anything on the other side. And for this small one, I just go with a little dark color on this part, which is the connection between the flower and the stem, which is darker. So I try to play the dark color here. And even for this one as well, try to add a little bit dark color on this part. Add some shadow. It's not the shadow, it's dark color, just. Or maybe one side is nice to have a little bit dark tone. We finish with the darkness of flowers. The last touch is the really dark color inside some of them, which is look like a black color. But I have Payne's gray for these colors, which is so dark. If I bring it here, it's look like a black. But if you don't have this color, like a black or gray color, you can make that. Mix dark brown with dark blue. So if you mix dark brown with dark blue, your color is moved toward a really dark color, look like black or even gray. And I recommend with tip of a really small brush that you have, very gently. Start from this one, add some small black spot. Small line, tiny line, or even circly. To make some details inside